What is happening in the world? The world after the pandemic is recovering, and Russia seems to have a strategy, with President Vladimir Putin making his attendance with several other Russian officials at the Beijing Winter Olympics. This made it seem like a business meeting of some sort, but things have become interesting. But what could this mean for everyone else? Watch until the end to know. Hey, welcome to the channel. We're going to discuss the $117 billion deal between China and Russia. If you're new to this channel and like to stay up to date with the current affairs and insights, please consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell. With this, let's begin today's video. Putin hails $117.5 billion of China deals as Russia squares off with the West. Vladimir Putin, president of Russia, recently revealed a new deal with China involving natural gas and oil with an estimated worth of about $117.5 billion. Could this mean at the beginning of an alliance during raging tensions with Russia's European customers and at the border of Ukraine? This step will ramp up the Far East exports and reduce Russia's dependence on Europe for business. Well, Russia already stands on number 3 of the list of gas suppliers to China. This step would likely change that to second, if not first. Russia has been strengthening its ties with China, which is one of the world's biggest energy consumers. Ongoing recent tensions at the borders of Russia and Europe could mean less business. This proves to be a good step for Russia, as Europe might distance itself from the country over the recent events that have been occurring. President Vladimir Putin said that the energy crisis in Europe was due to the short-term deals that were made amidst the pandemic, and putting them in question is highly a political statement. How much of this could be true? We never know. But we did see Russia having inventory issues and claimed it to be the reason for reduced supply in Europe. President Vladimir Putin said that the energy crisis in Europe was due to the short-term deals that were made amidst the pandemic, and putting them in question is highly a political statement. How much of this could be true? We never know. But we did see Russia having inventory issues and claimed it to be the reason for reduced supply in Europe. President Vladimir Putin had a meeting with the Chinese President Xi Jinping. In a discussion of closer cooperation, said, "Our oilmen have prepared very good new solutions of hydrocarbon supplies to the People's Republic of China. The Russian contract claims to supply 10 billion cubic meters BCM per year to China from the region of Russia in the Far East." This meet was at the attendance in the Winter Olympics held in Beijing. During the Winter Olympics, President Vladimir Putin was accompanied by several Russian officials and business executives, including Sechin and Gazprom's head, Alexei Miller. Russian gas giant Gazprom, with the current deal with China, said that it estimated that the gas sales alone could generate a revenue of approximately $37.5 billion over 25 years, as said by Reuters, as they calculated with an assumption of an average gas price of $150 per thousand cubic meters. The Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said that the deal was made for 25 years, which in China the industry said it was to be for 30 years. Rosneft, yet another Russian bowler in the oil game headed by a steady Putin-fueled ally Igor Sechin, signed a deal with CNPC for 100 million tons of oil supplied through Kazakhstan over 10 years. This would effectively increase an existing deal. The deal was worth $80 million, as said by Rosneft. Now the stock market is very happy about this. The investors are navigating their way to a newfound investment opportunity. Russian stock market, especially Gazprom and Rosneft. This natural gas trade has put them on a pedestal. President Vladimir Putin accuses the United States, mainly NATO, of fueling the fire over the borders of Ukraine and Russia, with an increase in Russian troops at the border of Ukraine, with more than 100,000 troops being stationed and growing. The United States has accused Moscow of planning an invasion, which they heavily deny. This looks bad for Europe, as they have already invested around 10 billion euros in the gas pipeline that is said to import natural gas from Russia, the Nord Stream 2. While the supply would not be cut off completely, the import could be a lot less than primarily expected. Well, there has been already a surge in gas prices with a hike of 17%, and this new deal from Beijing could prevent Moscow from diverting gas to Europe. The deal involves gas from the Pacific island of Sakhalin, which is not connected to Russia's European pipeline network. Gazprom stated that they are currently planning to increase gas exports to China by 48 billion cubic meters per year, and a newly agreed pipeline network that will export 10 million tons of liquefied natural gas, LNG, per year in Sakhalin. On the other hand, this looks very good for China. This project is strategically attractive for them, as the gas would reach China's northeastern tips, and the only other supplying alternative is relatively more expensive for them, as said by BCS Brokerage in a note about the 10 billion cubic meters deal. An industry source revealed that Gazprom would export its first batch of gas to flow from this newly made contract to the pipeline networks, which would be up and operational in about 2 to 3 years. This is a 30-year contract with CNPC in China. Sources also say that the gas deal between Russia and China would be settled in euros to diversify from the US dollar and hedge itself from the sanctions made to the power of Siberia from Washington. Russia will now send gas to China through its Power of Siberia, a network of pipeline that has been up and running since 2019. They also have been shipping LNG. They have exported about 16.5 billion cubic meters of gas to China in 2021, which includes 10.5 billion cubic meters through the Power of Siberia, which is a separate pipeline network that sends gas to Europe. The relations between China and Russia seem to be improving as they both have a lot to offer. At this point, it seems as though China sees this as an opportunity to redeem its economic status and recover from the adverse effects of the pandemic, while China also has lifted the restrictions on Russian wheat and barley imports. China is one of the most powerful countries in the world, together with the United States, with NATO stationing troops at the European borders on standby as a precautionary measure to prevent an invasion which Russia completely denies. Russia feels, in a sense, bullied by this, so the next step is to seek allegiance with the country of a higher power. Russia's grip on the Eurasian Economic Union looks weak against China's Belt and Road initiatives. Even though it seems fairly stable at the time, it might not be the case in the near future. The Eurasian Economic Union has forced Beijing to slowly increase its security profile there. Russia's economy leans heavily on its natural gas commodity, and as Europe is the biggest customer, recent events may disrupt this relationship. Hence, Russia is looking to China to replace Europe. In the Arctic regions, Russia and China need to be on the same page to accomplish their goals for infrastructural development and resource extractions. China is particularly interested in accessing the Arctic region and their economic potential. It just goes to show that Russia is submissive, while China is the dominant one in this relationship. China more likely sees Russia as a stepping stone, as China also envisions an active role in global and regional affairs, and this partnership or relationship in turn eliminates competition, which makes it easy for both nations. But the Sino-Russian partnership would try to alter the international system to their advantage. China is a hardware giant. They export broadcasting equipment, integrated circuits, computers, telephones, office machine parts to the United States, Hong Kong, Japan, South Korea, and Germany. In 2018 alone, China made $3.8 trillion in value. Russia, on the other hand, made $25.3 billion USD in the year 2020 with their natural gas exports. These countries produce efficiently, and their partnerships could mean that the international market would also be affected, and they might have to adjust later, as the Sino-Russian partnership could reshape the international market. But as far as I can see, Russia is a friend with benefits to China, as Russia helps them boost their economy. But this relationship is here to stay, as they have a common goal of pushing back the Western-dominated international system. And with the recent events, it seems as though they are in for a strategic claim of power. This will be the end, guys. I can't predict the future, and this does seem bad for the US, but we never know. Comment down below with your assumptions on this deal, and don't forget to let us know if you liked the video by hitting the thumbs up button. And if you didn't like the video, tell us why in the comment section. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay you. Until next time.